Let's rewind to December 2nd, 2022. Lincoln Riley took a USC team that was 4-8 the year prior without him, all the way to the Pac-12 Championship game against Utah. Just 12 months earlier, he was hanging out with Walmart Joe Burrow in his intro press conference. Lincoln Riley's Trojans lose to Utah, and they barely miss out on one of the 4 playoff spots available. Vibes are still high, though. Things are trending up and to the right for USC, and faster than people thought. Fast forward to today. Lincoln Riley is again one big game away from the college football playoff. But the 2 years it took to get here were way more brutal than people expected. Lincoln Riley is now 0-4 against top 10 teams at USC. The tough years have given this one higher stakes. Since 2022, we've learned that a big contract for a big-time coach with a big budget doesn't necessarily guarantee success in the NIL era. There's going to be the #1 recruiting class in the nation watching this game just weeks before they sign. The 2022 Pac-12 Championship felt like playing with house money. It feels like USC needs this one. So, did the Trojans have a chance? What USC does better than anybody is pass the ball efficiently. Jayden Maiava leads the country in EPA per dropback. What that means is essentially anytime Jayden Maiava drops back, it leads to a successful play more often than any other quarterback in the country. And yes, even the potential #1 overall pick, Dante Moore. You know what helps him do this? The best receiving core outside of Columbus. Makai Lemon and Jacoby Lane, who most recently combined for 17 catches for 218 yards against an Iowa defensive backfield that was a top 10 unit heading into the Coliseum. If you're an Oregon Ducks fan watching this, the #1 thing you have to stop is Makai Lemon in the slot on seam routes. USC has dominated people with different variations of seam routes, but with Makai Lemon in the slot, that's where he's most dangerous. Here, he's going to work up this hash and then ultimately break across the safety's face. Iowa here is in cover 6, and I got 5 straight plays of different variations of seam routes against 5 different coverages over the season for USC. Here, you got Iowa in a cover 4, cover 6 look. Cover 2 towards the boundary, cover 6 towards the field, and look at how Lemon sets up this route. He's going to press this safety vertical, get him to turn his hips, and then work across towards the middle of the field. Iowa knows the game plan, though. This safety's trying to get involved, but it's an excellent throw by Maiava, throwing this on time to not let this backside safety get involved. Look at how patient Lemon is. Patience sets the route up. Anticipatory throw in the elements, in the rain. I looked at the forecast. There could be some rain at Autzen Stadium, even though it never rains at Autzen. This one again, we got Lemon in the slot on a seam route. Notre Dame's going to elect to go man coverage here. I wonder if Oregon will try to do this. Free safety in the middle of the field here. He goes way too far, dropping towards his left. And then Lemon starts on a seam route and then bends towards the middle of the field. I don't even know if this was called necessarily, or if he just sensed the middle field free safety drifting so far to his left and then just crossed his face. This was a huge play. Way too easy. Way too easy. Breaks across his face, wide open, huge chunk yard play. This time we got Michigan. They're not in man. They're not in cover 6. They're in a cover 4 look here. Makai Lemon again in this slot. He's going to push vertical. This isn't necessarily a true seam route. They're trying to fake a dig route or a basic route, get that safety to trigger, and then run by him. It's a true double move look. The thing I want to point out, though, is even though it is cover 4, the #3 receiver here from USC is towards the boundary. So then this backside safety up here, he's working back towards Lemon's side. The reason I call that out is I could totally see Oregon coming to the park with a, hey, let's get a second safety over the top of Makai Lemon. Well, what does that do? That leaves you one-on-one backside. And you got Jacoby Lane. We'll get to him in a second. He's got a backside post one-on-one. Got to pick your battles if you're this Oregon safety. This time Maiava gets flushed out to his right, so they can't complete the full double move, but then he chops it back down. Gets a chunk play towards the sideline. This one is big time, and it's a big time throw by Jayden Maiava. This one, it's against Illinois. Illinois is going to get to cover 3 in a different kind of look. They're going to drop this safety down, this safety back, corners in the other deep third. This corner is going to try to 2-for-1. And in this tight window, USC is going to hit Makai Lemon right here. If Maiava's just a half second late, Lemon's going to get killed or it's an interception. He's not. He's trusting his guys. That's a theme with Maiava's game. Throws with anticipation and trusts his receivers to make a catch for him in traffic. Makai Lemon is tough, man. It's a bomb or a dime. He gets hit right in traffic, picks up the first down. And then just for good measure, this last one, this is a blown coverage. We've seen cover 3, cover 6, cover 2, man. This time it's Tampa 2. You got safety dropping deep, middle linebacker running here, and Makai Lemon, this is just too easy. Working right down the middle of the field. Again, another variation of a seam route. This is what Lincoln Riley wants to dial up. Makai Lemon, excellent at catching the rock in traffic and just puts so much pressure on the defense. That's 5 different coverages, 5 different variations of a seam type of route, and 5 completions as well. Hey, if you're enjoying this video, real quick, hit the subscribe button down below. We passed 50,000 subscribers last week. Thanks to you guys. The path to 100K starts now. Thanks. It's not just the Makai Lemon show. They got Jacoby Lang, who to start the year, I thought Lang was better than Lemon. Lemon's become receiver 1, but I love Jacoby Lang. He's an outside receiver, 6'4", 6'5" kind of guy, and he has the full route tree to his disposal. If you're Oregon, this is not just necessarily fade balls and comebacks. Here it's versus Notre Dame, his touchdown catch. He's going to break inside, press vertical, and it's a little circus route. Maiava throws with touch. This is too easy. Big touchdown when USC had to have it on the road. Over the top. He's got the speed. He's vertical. Remember, Deuce Robinson, who I think is the best receiver in the ACC right now, he transferred out of USC because of these 2 dudes. This time, you got Lane. He's in the slot, little corner route. And again, the trust from Maiava after he breaks contain and makes this defensive end miss, to throw this up and trust that 8's going to find a window to make a play. This is well covered. It's just athletes playing recess football, making plays. You got a circus route. You got a corner route. Here, you don't see this route a lot in college football. It's going to be a post corner, and he's going to break it off, and Maiava's going to throw him flat. Saw 1 versus Notre Dame, 1 versus Iowa, this right here versus Northwestern. Good luck if you're a corner. Scout team, you got to practice the whole route tree. Here we got Northwestern again. It's a comeback to the bottom of the screen. And Lane was hurt for a little bit early on this season. USC's a different offense when he can get the one-on-one matchups on the outside. And then versus Purdue, this is an interesting route. He's going to inside stem, work vertical, kind of chop his feet a little bit, and then just press on vertical. And I think he works inside to eat up the coverage from this corner and know that by working inside, he's giving himself more room towards the outside. Bunch of big plays versus different opponents, getting to it in different ways. By having 2 weapons, it keeps the defense honest. Great ball by Maiava. Great catch by Lane. But this is strength on strength for the 2nd straight week for USC. Oregon has the 2nd best coverage grade in the country according to PFF. But Oregon has not played great receivers this year. The one game they lost was against Indiana, and you can see Indiana's receiving core is nice. There's a weird outlier here with Rutgers. I see you, Rutgers. Oregon's DBs handled business there. Only 79 yards passing and 2 interceptions. Those 2 interceptions are right here. Let's see what we can find out from the film. Oregon's going to rush 5. Then they got 2 man behind it. Man coverage, man coverage, man coverage. This linebacker's reading the running back in the backfield, and then you got 2 high safeties deep in this 2-man look. This tight end's going to act like he's going to block, then he's going to sneak out for a check down. It's too high, and Oregon, I believe, gets a batted ball. Yep, and then it becomes an interception. If Oregon's able to get different blitz looks, confuse Maiava, create things like this with the athletic front for the Ducks, that's how Oregon wins this game. 2nd interception in this ball game. Got a wheel route by the running back. You got a dig route by the receiver 1 here. Then you got a vertical route here, and then an under route by this number 2 receiver. This dude's wide open. USC, if Oregon again lines up in 2-man, USC has to punish the Ducks in man coverage. This ball's going to be behind him and hot, and it leads to the interception. But there's plays to be made. Look at that slot receiver. The guy is circled in green. He's open. Ball there. A little bit pressure in his face. Overthrow. That safety comes in for the interception. There's no question the Ducks secondary has athletes, but there is enough data like we saw to at least question whether or not they have truly been tested. The one time the Ducks secondary was tested was at home versus Indiana, and Fernando Mendoza and Omar Cooper, they handled business. When you watch that film, it's really the outbreaking route specifically that gave Oregon problems. Right here, this is just a 10-yard speed out towards the field. Omar Cooper gets the corner turned around, one-on-one on the outside. You could tell Oregon came into the park saying, hey, we can win those one-on-one matchups. Not in this game. 1, 2, 3, ball out. Easy pitch and catch to the outside. This time, the Ducks are going to bring a little heat. You bring this linebacker, Indiana right behind it. It's got a little 5-yard out. Fernando Mendoza recognizes this, spits the ball out, and then Cooper, who he's an excellent slot. Between Cooper and Lemon, they might be the two best slot receivers in the conference because Tate and Smith play out more outside. I think that's fair. If you get one-on-one matchups in open space, who's gonna come up with that tackle? Excellent one-handed catch. Breaks 2 tackles, gets an 11-yard gain. Here, once again, to the field, 10-yard out, on time, one-on-one matchup with the corner. He's worried about pressing vertical. Break it off, get to the outside, no hesitation, easy pitch and catch. Third outbreaking route of the game. And then here, not a traditional outbreaking route because it's going to work inside and then break out against the Oregon defender's leverage. But here you got a vertical route by the point man. You got a 10-yard out by Cooper, and then this outside receiver is going to work in and then back out, and he's banking on this corner, driving hard, and then works against his leverage. It's an excellent design, but again, this just pops on film. Indiana's outbreaking routes gave Oregon fits in this game. Ball out, completion, get the ball out of your hands quickly. Oregon's got some dudes up front. We could break down 1,000 more facets in this game, and some might be more impactful. Just off the top of my head, USC needs to run the rock more efficiently. The surefire way for USC to lose a football game is if that counter scheme is just not working. USC's left tackle, Elijah Page, he left the Iowa game with an undisclosed injury. USC would love to have him good to go. And then Wayman Jordan, the running back that got hurt early on in the year, he was questionable versus Iowa. Maybe that leaves the door open for his return at Eugene. But with all that said, you saw the path to winning for USC in this video. Does USC have a chance? Anytime you got 14 walking out in the Pacific Northwest turf with 6 and 8 somewhere down there to catch the rock, USC's always got a chance.